Although chollas can be very unpleasant for hapless hikers and bikers with their spines and glochids, they are very important to the desert ecosystem. They provide building materials for pack rat nests, as well as nesting places for cactus wrens, curve-bill thrashers, mourning doves, and roadrunners. In addition, many birds, mammals, and insects, as well as desert tortoises and spiny iguanas, feed on the fleshy fruits. They have relatively shallow roots and are capable of quickly using shallow soil water when it is briefly available and then surviving lengthy periods when it is not. The first thing you are likely to see when buckhorn cholla become active in the spring are primary leaves. They are very noticeable, and it looks like something you should record. But out of the 10 protocol questions for this plant, none of them have to do with primary leaves. However, you may think of them as previews of coming attractions. Primary leaves will eventually dry out and fall off, but before they do, you will see buds and new stems appear. Which leads us to the first protocol question. Are there flowers or flower buds? This is defined as one or more fresh open flowers or flower buds are visible on the plant. Include flower buds or inflorescences that are swelling or expanding, but do not include those that are tightly closed and not actively growing or dormant. Also, do not include wilted or dried flowers. Buds can go dormant or stop growing for a variety of reasons, so if you notice a bud that is not actively growing, do not include it in your count. Next, you must count the number of flowers and flower buds. For buckhorn cholla, we do not need to consider flower heads, spikes, or catkins. Remember to estimate what's on the back of the plant based on what you see on the front. If you did see flowers and flower buds, now you need to record if there are open flowers. This is defined as one or more open, fresh flowers are visible on the plant. Flowers are considered open when the reproductive parts, as in male stamens or female pistils, are visible between or within unfolded or open flower parts. Do not include wilted or dried flowers. Buckhorn cholla flowers do not stay open for very long, so it is a real treat to see them. Next, you must determine what percentages of all fresh flowers on the plant are open. There are no open flowers pictured here, so your answer would be less than 5%. To answer the next protocol question, are fruits present, you must be able to identify the spiny, bumpy, and berry-like fruit. Fruit will have a distinctive concave end once the flower wilts and falls off, but it may also still have the dried flower attached. New stems can be mistaken for fruit, but they lack the distinctive concave end, and they tend to be longer. Unripe fruit is green, but when it begins to ripen, it turns yellow. When it is past ripe, it turns tan and appears desiccated. The Nature's Notebook Phenophase Primer tells us to continue to report yes for fruits and ripe fruits as long as they seem plump, edible, and appealing to wildlife. But when the fruits begin to dry up and deteriorate, it is questionable whether to consider them as fruits and ripe fruits. Once they seem inedible or unappealing to wildlife, report no for these phenophases and place a note in the comments section that deteriorated fruit persists on the plant. Next, you must count all the fruit. If you have identified fruit on the plant, now you must determine if any ripe fruit are present and answer the intensity question. What percentages of all fruits on the plant are ripe? The last protocol question for buckhorn cholla is there any recent fruit or seed drop? This is always a difficult question to answer depending on how often you collect data. Just use the question mark if you see fruit on the ground and you don't remember if it was there during your last visit, or leave it blank if you did not check. If you do see fruit on the ground and know that it is recent, then answer yes and answer the intensity question. That's all for now. Enjoy your time on the trail.